Chapter 1880. The others went to rest. Lin Xian called Morong Fong out alone. Originally, Lin Xian didn't know when he should talk about this matter. But now, he felt that he could talk about it. Uncle Morong. Lin Xian looked at Morong Fong. If you have something to say, just say it. We don't need to beat around the bush. Morong Fong patted Lin Xian's shoulder. Then, he handed a cigarette to Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. Uncle Morong, I want to ask about the God's Awakening Door. God's Awakening Door? Why are you asking about this? Morong Fong was somewhat astonished. He never thought that Lin Xian would ask about this. That is, can the rules of the God's Awakening Door be changed? You still want to go? It's useless. If you want to get the things inside the God's Awakening Door, you can only go once. It's useless to go again. If it's useful, then it's useless. Lin Xian shook his head. No, I'm not going there to get some special rewards. Oh. Then, Lin Xian asked, since Uncle Morong said that it's only once, does it mean that there are people who have entered the God's Awakening Door twice or even more? Yes. Morong Fong nodded. And then, they died. Lin Xian frowned. In history, Morong Fong smoked a cigarette. There are 3 people in history. There are a total of 3 people. Of course, I know that there are a total of 3 people. These 3 people entered the God's Awakening Door a second time. They are very strong, incomparably strong, very powerful, and also very talented. There is even one who is not only a genius, but is already a famous expert. They came back easily from the first time, but did not come back the second time. Lin Xian. You said that if they didn't come back, wouldn't they be dead? No. Lin Xian said. And Morong Fong looked at Lin Xian in astonishment. They might not necessarily be dead. Or maybe he was living on Earth. Due to the limitations of Earth, even if they survived, their cultivation levels would not be high. They couldn't go any higher, so they weren't particularly famous? It was possible. However, it was also possible that they were indeed dead. Do you know something? Morong Fong asked. This was because after returning from the God's Awakening Door, all memories would disappear. However, Lin Xian's words sounded as if he was very certain. Lin Xian couldn't remember, but he knew that it was Earth. Uncle Morong, I'm curious about something. Go ahead. After so many years, so many people have entered and exited the God's Awakening Door. Is it true that none of them remember anything? Or can you say anything? Lin Xian asked. Of course not. What if I wrote down the situation over there in advance and brought a small note with me when I came back? Lin Xian asked. Lin Xian refused to believe that no one had ever done this before. That was because everyone knew about it when they went in. Once they came out, they would forget about what happened inside. Wouldn't anyone be curious? There must be. This. You can't. Because no matter what happened over there, what you obtained, or what you saw, in the end, you will not be able to bring back anything from there. Lin Xian. That's not right. However, he brought it back. What's going on? He really did bring it back. Uncle Morong, are you sure about this? Of course I'm sure. It's something from so many years ago, so I'm sure. Why? Morong Fong asked curiously. Lin Xian shook his head. Nothing, I'm just curious. Morong Fong didn't think too much about it. He definitely wouldn't think that Lin Xian would bring back something from another world. Then, does anyone know what's inside the God's Awakening Door? Lin Xian asked. I don't know. I only know that there should be another world inside. It might be a barren land or something. Demon beasts and other creatures are everywhere. That's probably the case. To be honest, everyone in the Radiant Association is a person of this continent. They may have lived a little longer, and have experienced a little more. However, they don't necessarily know the secrets of this continent. They are also people. They haven't separated themselves from a certain category. Therefore, even if they have entered, they must have been the same as the others, Morong Fong said. Lin Xian then said, Uncle Morong, I want to go in again. What? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Morong Fong was dumbfounded. Lin Xian, I'm seriously telling you that you can't. Morong Fong reprimanded. Because if you go in, you will die. That kind of place is similar to a divine land. You are very powerful, you are very talented, but you can't go against such power. You will die very miserably. Morong Fong was very clear in his heart. Lin Xian, no matter how many heaven-defying and powerful things you have done, they are useless. They are not the reason and capital for you to enter the God's awakening door again. Morong Fong said. Lin Xian nodded. Uncle Morong, I am very clear about what I am saying. No. If you die, what will happen to the people around you? What will happen to Xiao Yu? Sometimes, no matter what reason you have to think about others. This is maturity. You can't do anything on impulse. Do you understand? Lin Xian nodded. Uncle Morong, I understand. However, I have a reason to go in. What reason? I can't say, but I have to go in. Maybe it won't be now, but it won't be long. 1 year, 2 years. Lin Xian had said that he would return in a year, but on the note, he had told them that he would return in 3 years. 3 years was very long. However, he should be able to wait. Lin Xian also didn't know. Morong Fong looked at Lin Xian and didn't say anything. Therefore, Uncle Morong, I don't want any reward. I want a privilege. What? The privilege to enter the God's awakening door whenever I want. Is that okay? Lin Xian asked. Morong Fong, are you crazy? You want to enter the God's awakening door whenever you want? King want to do it more than once, right? Lin Xian nodded. Yes. I am not sure. I want such a privilege. Since someone has done it before, it means that it is possible. I only need some people to nod their heads. I will bear the consequences. But, although you said so, the consequences need to be borne by everyone around you. Uncle Morong. Lin Xian looked at him. I am very clear about what I am saying. I won't go in just to die. Why would I die the second time I go in? Since it is a world, why can't I live in that world? But have you thought about it? Even if they don't die, they won't be able to come back. Lin Xian was silent. Wait. He had forgotten about this. Come back. It was fine to go, but how could they come back? If the transmission channel didn't open. Chapter 1881. That's right. How was he to return? Lin Xian wanted to be able to travel freely. However, even if he could go to Earth, he could not return. Lin Xian did not believe that he would die, but he did not believe that he could definitely return. He would return because there were people waiting for him there. And similarly, there were people here as well. Lin Xian sighed. Forget it. He had been too naive. Kid, what are you trying to do? Asked Morong Fong. Lin Xian shook his head. It's nothing. It's hard to say. Lin Xian then looked at Morong Fong and asked, Uncle Morong, can you help me ask the people from the Light Association about the details of the Door of God's Awakening? That's possible. I can ask according to your request, but you must not do anything foolish. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. Just like that, a year passed. That's right. It had been an entire year. It was also in this year and last month that the war between humans and Fae ended. The final outcome was, there was neither victory nor defeat. Countless warriors and demons had died in this war that had lasted for more than a year. And while they did not gain much, they lost a lot. After this war, the next few decades should be a very peaceful era. Lin Xian's realm had reached the Heavenly Dao realm at 6 stars. It was rather fast, really fast. This was because he had killed too many Fae over the past year. Even if it was purely grinding, he would have raised his realm to this point. Morong Yu and Ling Ying's realms were generally at 4 or 5 stars of the Heavenly Dao realm. Lin Xian's realm increased the fastest. None of them had reached 6 stars. Miao Xiaomiao and company's realms had also soared. Some had already attempted to break through to the heavenly Tao realm, while others were preparing to do so. Everyone's talent was not bad. Lin Ya's realm was not low either. She was at 5 stars of the heavenly Tao realm. After the war ended, Lin Xian was left with peace and tranquility. Everyone was also divided into several small circles. In this small circle, a few people played well together. Everyone was often together, while the other few played well with each other. Miao Xiaomiao, Zhao Yunqi, and Xin, Lan Xingxing, Yi Yi, Lu Yufan, and Zi Qiue were all part of a small circle. Generally speaking, their realms were much lower than the other small circles. Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and the others also formed a small circle. The other small circle was made up of Linglong Shui, Huang Shi, Bing Lingyue, Yi Renbing, Luo Chenxi, Murong Qing, and Bai Xianxian. On the other hand, Lin Ya was frequently seen in various small circles. After all, this was Lin Xian's harem. As his elder sister, Lin Ya took good care of everyone. She was like a big sister, trying her best to help Lin Xian solve his problems. Then, the 2 little fellows also grew up. Wow, little She is too fierce. In a beautiful grassland, it was like a small world. Everyone had gathered here, and no one was left behind. This was also the first time everyone had gathered together for a long time before the end of the war. They didn't say whether they were Lin Xian's women or not. They didn't need to say it, they were here. Here, some were playing chess, some were barbecuing meat, some were fishing, and some were competing. It was very harmonious. Over here, Zhao Yunqi was currently sparring with little She. Little She was small but mischievous. She was so small, and her small fists were pink and tender, but she was very fierce when fighting. Little She is so fast. Seeing the 2 flickering figures and little She's strength that was not to be outdone, everyone gasped in admiration. Little She was too strong. Her realm had reached Celestial Venerable. That's right. No one knew where her realm came from. She just lay there and slept for a year, and she became a Celestial Venerable. That was King ridiculous. Of course, there was also little Tianyi. He was the same. In any case, these 2 little fellows were not simple. Little She had inherited Lin Xian's law of destruction, and little Tianyi had inherited the law of creation. In terms of combat, little She is more inclined to take the initiative to attack. She's a real fighter. On the other hand, little Tianyi is a bit like Lin Xian. He's more inclined to techniques and wisdom. Lin Ya said, "Who's stronger?" Lu Yufan asked curiously. "Who's stronger?" Yi Renbing smiled and said, "Well, how should I put it? They're both strong, but little Tianyi has never won." "Ah, then isn't little She stronger? He can win, but he has to purposely reveal an opening, and then little She will seize it and defeat him." Pfft. Many girls burst out laughing when they heard this. It can't be. Little Tianyi and little She are only 2 years old, and little Tianyi already has such a strong desire to live? Ha ha, so cute, so cute. Miao Xiaomiao laughed and said, "Can't help it. He's used to being bullied since he was young." Lin Xian walked over and shrugged. "This little rascal, he's not like his father." Lin Xian said, "What do you know? Little Tianyi is only 2 years old, and he's already so gentlemanly. What about you?" Murong Qing shook her head helplessly. Cough cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly. "This is different from what I thought." Lin Xian rubbed his forehead and said, "What I'm thinking is that little She should be a quiet girl, just like little Chuxue, little Yu Yu, little Linglong, and little Lingyue. They should be cold and aloof. Isn't that right? Little Tianyi should be more manly like his father, but now, little She has become a little violent, and Tianyi has become a punching bag. That's not it. Little Tianyi can explode with his true strength when little She is in danger, and he will show his manliness when it's time. As for little She, she's used to bullying little Tianyi, but in little She's eyes, only she is allowed to bully Tianyi. Of course, there's also us. If anyone else bullies Tianyi, little Shi will be the first to panic. Lin Xian smiled and nodded. That's true. The most successful thing was the relationship between this pair of siblings. Okay, come and eat the barbecue. Bai Xian shouted. Coming, coming. Whoosh, little Shi landed on the ground and wobbled over to the barbecue. A day passed peacefully just like that. However, the entire continent seemed to have returned to peace, but in reality, a storm was brewing, and undercurrents were surging. The true danger had only just begun to brew. Congratulations, Head, for obtaining the power of the imperial descent. In front of Zhao Mengyue, a group of figures kneeled and congratulated her. Zhao Mengyue's eyes flashed red, and a bloodthirsty smile appeared on her lips. This continent will be mine in the end. Chapter 1882. Another half a year had passed. The entire continent had been rather peaceful for the past half a year. In this half a year, Lin Xian's realm did not increase much. When his realm reached Heavenly Dao Realm 6 stars, there was no way for him to increase it any further. It was just too difficult. However, compared to others, Lin Xian's realm had already increased very quickly. Is this the calm before the storm? Lin Xian looked at the clear night sky and sighed. What's the matter? What are you thinking about? Behind him, Linglong Shui walked over and asked gently. Sigh. Lin Xian sighed and looked at her. I don't know either. I just feel uneasy. Is it because of Zhao Mengyue and company? Linglong Shui asked. Lin Xian nodded. That's right. They have been quiet for too long. It has been a year and a half since the war between the humans and the demons began. A year and a half is enough for them to do a lot of things, added Linglong Shui. That's right. Lin Xian nodded. And the quieter they are, the more uneasy I feel. Then, Lin Xian continued, Uncle Morong has told me a lot about them. Although the humans and the demons are at war, we have not stopped searching for them during this period of time. But it's true that we haven't found a single trace of them. I believe that they have completely matured. Furthermore, it won't take long for them to stir up the continent's peace. They need a springboard that can allow them to do many things. Xiao Linglong, what do you think this springboard is? Linglong Shui's beautiful eyes looked at the starry sky outside and muttered, human or demon? At that moment, in the 7th Fei God Temple. Lord Fei God, someone is looking for you outside. Although the Fei race had been defeated, they did not suffer any losses. Both sides had lost countless lives, and so had the Fei race. However, losses on both sides were equivalent to no losses. It just meant that the Fei race did not achieve their goals. However, the humans did not turn around and attack the Fei race. Who is it? I'm not seeing you. The 7th Fei God Temple's Fei God was hugging a beauty, drinking wine and eating meat. He was extremely displeased that his mood was disturbed. Lord Demon God, this person said that if you don't meet him, you will regret it. Oh. The 7th Monster God raised his eyebrows. Interesting. He sneered. Let him in. Yes. Then, a fatty walked in. Human race. His eyes narrowed as he looked at the fatty. Human race. The fat man sneered. Then, his eyes suddenly turned red and he stretched out his hand slightly. Ah! Screams were heard all around. Then, they saw that everyone in the hall had blood spurting out from their throats. Then, all of it gathered together and was finally sucked into his mouth. Disgusting! It was disgusting. Human blood tastes better. He licked his red lips. Gulp. The Yao God gulped. Stronger than him. This was the feeling he felt at this moment. This was a human. This was definitely a human. But the power he released was not human. How strange. How strange. Who exactly was this person? What is the meaning of this? The Yao God looked at the fatty warily. To be precise, it was Blood Seeker. There is a cooperation that I hope to discuss with you. Blood Seeker walked over and said, What cooperation? The Yao god began to be vigilant. He even prepared to secretly use some power. Deal with the humans together. Do you want to do it? Deal with the humans? With just you? He smiled disdainfully. The entire monster race had not been able to destroy the humans. Just him alone could do it. But to be honest, he was a little curious. Everyone had seen the war between the humans and the monster race. He believed that he had also seen how strong the humans were. The Myriad Monster Alliance and the Monster God Temple combined could not defeat them, but this person. What a joke. Of course, it's not just me. We all saw the war between the humans and the monster race. Do you think that someone who dares to speak like this really doesn't have the confidence? Bloodseeker said with a smile. He naturally sat beside the Yao god. The Yao god slightly relaxed his vigilance. It seemed that he had only come for this. What do you mean? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Moreover, we are considered friends, aren't we? My master's greatest enemy is that Lin Xian. Are you still worried? I need a specific method. The Yao god was interested. There were all kinds of strange things in the world. Just because they had lost, it did not mean that there was no power in the world that could shake the entire human race. If there was, the monster race would not hesitate to gather their forces again. The specific method requires a little sacrifice, Your Excellency. The sacrifice does not matter. If we can win against the humans, let alone a little sacrifice, so what if it's a little sacrifice? Tell me, what kind of sacrifice? Bloodseeker smirked. Behind the Yao god, a sharp blade condensed from blood was ready. Your life. Chi. Suddenly, the Yao god's pupils contracted violently. At the same time, the 9th Monster God Temple welcomed a bespectacled man with a notebook. The 10th Monster God Temple also welcomed a man. The 11th, the 8th. Many Monster God Temples welcomed a person. There was one person who went directly to the Myriad Monster Alliance. That's right. Zhao Mengyue. Zhao Mengyue? Who's that? The big shots of the Myriad Monster Alliance had never heard of such a person. She said she's Lin Xian's mortal enemy. Lin Xian's mortal enemy? What a joke. So what if she's Lin Xian's mortal enemy? What right does she have to meet us? Do we have to meet anyone who says they're Lin Xian's mortal enemy in the future? What a laughable excuse. We won't meet her. An old man said unhappily. Yes. They did hate Lin Xian very much, but it did not mean they had to do such things. Run. At this moment, screams came from outside. What's going on? The old men were stunned. This was the Myriad Monster Alliance. No one in this world dared to act so impudently in the Myriad Monster Alliance. Not good. Someone has killed their way into the Myriad Monster Alliance. A person rushed in. What are you panicking for? This is the Myriad Monster Alliance. An old man said angrily. Yeah, this is the Myriad Monster Alliance. The Myriad Monster Alliance is so arrogant that they don't welcome this empress. Heh. Zhao Mengyue's figure appeared. They stared at Zhao Mengyue. Who are you? How dare you call yourself an empress? It was King ridiculous. Call herself an empress? Who on this continent dared to call themselves an empress? Chapter 1883. Zhao Mengyue was extremely confident right now. Of course, she might not be able to go against the entire Myriad Demon Alliance. To be precise, she definitely couldn't. She was very strong, but it was impossible for her to become so strong in such a short period of time. But she was definitely very strong. I want to discuss a collaboration with all of you. Zhao Mengyue walked into the main hall, then casually sat down on a seat and crossed her legs. What's the meaning of this? One of the old men's eyes narrowed. How noisy! Zhao Mengyue's eyes narrowed, and then a wave of energy surged out and enveloped the old man. Ah! The old man let out an extremely miserable scream. The pupils of the others in the surroundings constricted. Imperial descent. One of the old men shouted out. What? Imperial descent? The others felt terror from the bottom of their hearts when they heard this name. There's actually someone who can recognize Imperial descent's strength. Zhao Mengyue laughed coldly. Moreover, it's the complete form of Imperial descent's strength. It's just that its cultivation is slightly lacking. The old man from the Myriad Demon Alliance seemed to know quite a bit. Humph. But you alone dare to act presumptuously in the Myriad Demon Alliance? Aren't you thinking too highly of yourself and looking down on us? The old man's aura surged. There's no need to be anxious. I've come to discuss a collaboration with all of you. A collaboration? Just because you've inherited Imperial descent strength? Are you even worthy? I'm not worthy. Zhao Mengyue smiled with ridicule. There are probably 7 or 8 demon god palaces that have become my forces now. Do you think I'm not worthy? They exchanged glances. The demon god palaces could belong to the demon gods, but they still had to listen to the Myriad Demon Alliance in the end. Otherwise, the Myriad Demon Alliance was entirely capable of sending experts to chase a demon god like Zhao Mengyue out. No matter how strong a demon god's forces were, they couldn't go against the Myriad Demon Alliance. But now, Imperial descent had appeared. If what she said was true, then it meant that the demon gods of the various demon god palaces had changed masters. Of course, they could still attack them, but they would have to pay an extremely heavy price. Moreover, it wouldn't be easy. Now, can we sit down and have a good chat? The second demon god palace. Lord, someone is looking for you. Huang Shi took a sip of her tea. Who is it? I don't know. She said that if Lord Demon God doesn't meet her, you will regret it. Huang Shi said faintly, bring him here. Yes. Soon, she walked over with a woman. Greetings, esteemed demon god. Huang Shi slowly got up and turned to look at her. Who is it? Huang Shi asked faintly. Never seen it before. However, his cultivation did not seem to be low. It didn't feel particularly good. Bai Ling, I hope to cooperate with you on this trip. Cooperation. Tell me. Huang Shi sat down again with her back facing this person. A bloody smile appeared on Whitey's face. For this cooperation, Your Excellency may have to make some sacrifices. What sacrifice? Your life. All of a sudden, Bai Ling's eyes narrowed and a black mist rushed towards Huang Shi. A raging flame erupted from Huang Shi's body. It was a black flame, a flame of darkness. Bai Ling's pupils shrank. Originally, her head had told her not to touch some of the demon god temples, including the second demon god temple. But she didn't believe it. How strong was the power she had inherited? She wasn't afraid. She didn't believe it. Then she came. And then, her sudden attack was easily blocked by Huang Shi. Impossible. Impossible. Bai Ling looked at the scene in front of her in disbelief. Her cultivation base was really high. She wasn't weak at all. Short-sighted. Huang Shi snorted coldly, and a surge of power burst out. On the other side, Lin Xian received the news. Who? Lin Xian asked. The power of the 12 demon gods should be the sound demon. Lin Xian frowned. What do they want? To kill me. Huang Shi said indifferently. What are they trying to do? Lin Xian paced slowly. They attacked and even wanted to kill Huang Shi. Lin Xian guessed that they might not be targeting Huang Shi. It was more likely that they were targeting the demon god temple. Why were they targeting the demon god temple? He didn't know. However, it was clear that they had started to act. I have to be careful. I'll tell Uncle Morong. Lin Xian then hung up the phone and reported to Morong Fong about the situation here. What? Morong Fong was shocked when he heard the news. Is it reliable? I'm not sure, but this is the situation with the second demon god temple. I'm not sure about the situation with the other demon god temples. It seems that they're going to make a move. Morong Fong sighed. I understand. Leave this matter to us to investigate. Lin Xian said, okay, but we can also, no need. You're already tired. Rest well and improve your cultivation base. Perhaps there will be many things that I need your help with in the future. Okay. Lin Xian hung up the phone. He had something else to do now. Over at Mount Tianyao, Lin Xian had received Yu Liuli's nurturing and obtained a lot of power. At that time, he had promised her that he would return 2 years later. It seemed that he had something to do, and this matter should be similar to a martial arts competition. As for who he would be competing with, Lin Xian wasn't too sure. Thinking about it, he missed those 2 women, Su Qining and Mu Qianshuang. During this period, they didn't contact each other at all. Lin Xian didn't contact them, so they naturally couldn't contact Lin Xian. It's about time. Lin Xian looked at the date. Xiao Linglong, I have to leave for Mount Tianyao. Lin Xian said to Linglong Shui. I'll accompany you. No need. Lin Xian kissed her red lips and said, I'm no longer the weak Lin Xian from before. Don't worry, this kind of thing is very simple for me. Be careful. I'm afraid that the demon race is still watching you and Zhao Mengyue. Don't worry. Then I won't procrastinate and will leave directly. Okay. Then, Lin Xian disappeared on the spot. This trip wasn't close. Lin Xian's realm wasn't low, but he still needed to spend some time to reach Mount Tianyao. Master. On Mount Tianyao, Su Qining poured a cup of tea for Yu Liuli. The 12 demon gods have already begun to move. According to the current investigation, 8 demon god temples have already fallen into their hands. In this case, the myriad demon alliance might not be able to help. Su Qining said. This continent has never lacked ambitious people, but no ambitious person has ever succeeded. Lin Xian is here, right? On the way. Chapter 1884. Lin Xian had arrived at Mount Tianyao. Fairy Master. Lin Xian greeted Yu Liuli with a smile. Pretty senior sister. Then, Lin Xian smiled sweetly at Su Qibing. Su Qibing nodded slightly at Yi Tianyi to indicate that she understood. Then, she walked away. Hey, why did you leave? You don't seem to want to see me. Then, Lin Xian's voice sounded again. Or did you leave shyly after seeing me? Su Qibing. She couldn't help but stagger. Pui. Have a seat. Yu Liuli said to Lin Xian indifferently. All right. Lin Xian obediently sat opposite her. Heavenly Dao Realm 6 stars. Not bad. You're a little faster than I expected. Lin Xian scratched his head and said with a smile, Not bad, not bad. Fairy Master, what do you want me to do? Go to the Heavenly Palace tomorrow or tonight. Ha! Heavenly Palace? Lin Xian seemed to have heard of this before, but he couldn't remember clearly. When did he hear of it? He really couldn't remember. It seemed that Xiao Linglong had mentioned it unintentionally. This Heavenly Palace is? Lin Xian asked curiously. A top faction of the demon race that opposes Mount Tianyao. Ha! Mount Tianyao. Lin Xian glanced at it. The main thing was, Lin Xian knew that his master was super awesome. She was so awesome that Xiao Linglong respected her very much. However, to be honest, he had only seen 2 people in Mount Tianyao. One was his master, and the other was Su Qibing. It couldn't be that Mount Tianyao was a faction supported by his master, Yu Liuli, alone, right? That Heavenly Palace faced Mount Tianyao. It couldn't be that Heavenly Palace was also in the same situation, right? Then, Lin Xian asked, this Heavenly Palace, could it be the same as Mount Tianyao? There aren't many people? Do you think this is the entirety of Mount Tianyao? Yu Liuli asked. Lin Xian, this, like I said, it shouldn't be. Lin Xian suddenly understood. Mount Tianyao should be a very powerful force. It shouldn't be to the extent that there weren't any people there. You don't have to come into contact with anything else right now. There are some positions and identities that I believe you don't necessarily want. Take this. She handed a token to Lin Xian. This is? If there's anything you need help with in the future, just use this token. Of course, the prerequisite is that he doesn't violate some rules. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. Let's talk about Mount Tianyao and the Heavenly Palace. Yu Lioli then said, the Heavenly Demon Mountain and the Heavenly Palace have been enemies for many years, or rather, rivals. If we're talking about grudges, then this grudge is so great that they want to destroy the other. Lin Xian listened carefully. Outside of Mount Tianyao, there's another force called Mount Tianyao. That's what you think of as a powerful force. Yu Lioli said. I see. Then what is the purpose of our Mount Tianyao? Lin Xian asked curiously. Its general purpose is to provide for the elderly. Lin Xian, ahem, Fairy Master, don't joke around. Not really. You'll know in the future. It's not important right now. Lin Xian nodded. Is the Heavenly Palace like this too? Yes. Simply put, you can go to Mount Tianyao and become the master of Mount Tianyao soon. But you naturally don't want to do that, so I didn't want to tell you. You just need to understand. Lin Xian scratched his head. That's true. The previous masters of Mount Tianyao were all chosen in this way. If you don't do it, it won't affect you much. But there's another identity. It's useless to you now, so it's good that you don't know. It's the same for the Heavenly Palace. There's someone in the Heavenly Palace who's about the same as you. What you need to do is fight with her. If you can win, then win. If you can't, then there's nothing you can do. One-on-one. Lin Xian asked. Yes. Lin Xian. Then Yu Lioli explained to Lin Xian, the Heavenly Palace and Mount Tianyao have been rivals since the day they were established. The founders of Mount Tianyao and the Heavenly Palace were rivals. They've been competing since the day they were established. So from then on, the Heavenly Palace will produce a Celestial Emperor every generation, and Mount Tianyao will produce a Yao Emperor. That's right, you're this generation's Yao Emperor. Lin Xian. Holy shit. I've heard of this before. Lin Xian said in shock. He really had heard of this before. Even if he wasn't in the Yao realm and hadn't heard of it from Linglong Shui and the others, Lin Xian knew about it. Because these two titles were a little too famous. They were similar to the saints and saintesses of the three major factions of the human race. Most importantly, they were similar in status to the saints of the Association of Light. They were very, very powerful. Lin Xian knew that the Yao Emperor and the Celestial Emperor were similar to the two most powerful existences in the entire Yao realm. They represented the ceiling of the Yao realm's combat strength, or rather, the ceiling of the Yao realm's future combat strength. It could also be said that their talents were very exaggerated. Then this. I'm a human. Won't there be a problem if I become the Yao Emperor? It's fine. Lin Xian nodded. Okay. You mean, I just have to go to the Heavenly Palace and fight with him tomorrow? Yes. That's it. Maybe there will be more in the future, but there's no need for that now. Understood. Then what will happen if I lose? Nothing will happen. The world will just think that this generation's Celestial Emperor is stronger than the Yao Emperor, and then the Heavenly Palace will mock Mount Tianyao. That's all. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. Lose? Then he didn't want to lose. No matter what the motive was, Lin Xian felt that losing was an irresponsible act. Of course, if it only had something to do with Lin Xian, then Lin Xian felt that it didn't matter. But now, this matter was related to his master, Yu Lioli's reputation, right? No matter how little it was still related, right? Therefore, Lin Xian had to win. Is there anything I need to pay attention to? Lin Xian asked. There's not much to pay attention to. When the time comes, there will be many experts from the demon race. Almost the entire demon race will pay attention to this matter. There will also be many experts from the demon race who will go over. You just need to pay attention to yourself. Yu Lioli knew what Lin Xian's situation was regarding the demon race, and she hated him very much. But there are still many people in the demon race who are more open-minded. They are neutral, so they don't think there's anything wrong with this matter. On the contrary, many of them will admire you very much. Just fight your own battle. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. Then I'll prepare. Go ahead. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.